She's yelling, she's emotional, she's saying things she doesn't even mean. And most men, they make the same mistake every single time. They raise their voice, they explain, they argue, they try to win. But high-value men, grounded men, they do something radically different. They don't react, they don't flinch, they observe. Because they understand one truth most men never learn. Female drama isn't about logic. It's about testing your center, your calm, your emotional spine. If you lose that, you've already lost her respect. When she storms in with chaos, the average man scrambles for control. He thinks, if I just explain myself, she'll calm down. If I just fix the problem, she'll love me again. But that's where he fails. You're not supposed to fix her feelings. You're supposed to contain them, not with force, not with silence, but with presence. The grounded man knows. Her chaos is the storm. He is the mountain. He doesn't collapse. He doesn't flee. He doesn't get pulled in. Instead, he holds his frame, not because he's cold, but because he knows one simple truth. She doesn't want you to fix her. She wants to feel your strength. And nothing shows strength more than calm during her emotional thunderstorm. She raises her voice. You lower your heartbeat. She flails emotionally. You root yourself deeper. See, emotional women aren't looking for emotional men. They're looking for emotional anchors. When she throws drama at you, don't throw it back. Don't match her fire with more fire. Don't make it about logic, debate, or defense. Just observe. Hold eye contact. Let her words fall like rain hitting stone. You don't need to react. You just need to remain. And when she finally pauses, when she looks at you and expects a counterattack, all you give her is presence, still, unbothered, grounded. It's in that moment she starts to wonder, how is he so unfazed? And that mystery? It rewires her attraction on a primal level. If this mindset speaks to something deep in you, don't just watch, subscribe and walk the path with us. The more grounded you are, the more chaotic she may become. But that's not a problem. It's a test, not of your strength, but of your self-possession. Because emotional women often bring storms, not to destroy you, but to feel you, to see if you shake or if you stand like the mountain. Most men collapse. They get defensive. They try to fix it, argue, win. And in that moment, they lose everything. But not you. You breathe deeper. You speak slower. You say less. But when you do, every word lands like a brick. She's not used to that. To a man who doesn't mirror her chaos. To a man who doesn't need to control her emotions to control his own. And suddenly, she's drawn in. Because now she's not leading the energy. You are. And that shift is magnetic. The drama isn't the enemy. Reacting to it is. She wants to feel something real. And when you stay unshaken, you become the most real thing in her life. Because in a world full of men who get rattled, your calm becomes seductive. It says, I don't chase chaos. I absorb it. And you don't do it by fighting back. You do it by being still. She raises her voice. You lower yours. She throws emotional darts. You don't flinch. Not because you're numb, but because you've mastered emotional leadership. That's the secret. Women don't want to lead emotionally. They test to see who can. And when she sees that you can handle her at her worst, she starts fantasizing about giving you her best. You didn't silence her emotions. You gave them space to burn out. While you stood firm in your fireproof frame. That's how she begins to respect you. That's how she starts to feel safe with you. And that is the beginning of something dangerously powerful. A grounded man never competes with a woman's emotions. He lets them move around him, like wind around a mountain. That's not indifference. That's control. You don't mirror her chaos. You anchor it. Because when she sees you refuse to escalate, you quietly become the dominant force in the room. Most men, they get dragged into her storm. They try to fix it, explain it, fight it. But you contain it. With a glance, a slow breath, a pause that says, "I see you, and I'm not moving." That pause is power. That pause rewires her. She begins to trust your presence more than her own drama. And when that happens, she lets go. Not because you forced her to, but because she finally feels safe not being in control. That's what she's been craving. Most men fill the silence with noise. You let silence do the talking. When she throws words like weapons, you don't flinch. When she spirals in emotion, you don't chase after her energy. You sit in your stillness, not as a weak man hoping she calms down, but as a strong one who's already calm. She notices, because it's rare, almost alien. It tells her something deeper than charm ever could. That your value isn't on trial, that your mood isn't hers to command, that you aren't afraid of tension because you don't need harmony to feel whole. And this unnatural calm, it turns her world upside down, not because you out-talked her, but because you out-held her. You stayed steady when everything in her begged for chaos. You didn't collapse. You didn't retreat. You just held. That's not just emotional strength. That's masculine dominance in its purest form. That's the difference between a man she remembers and a man she replays. You don't beg for peace. You radiate it. You don't explain your strength. You embody it. And when the storm passes, she realizes the truth. You never tried to overpower her. You simply didn't let her overpower you. You became the calm she didn't know she craved. The man who leads without force, who holds the line, who says nothing but means everything. This is the Stoic path. Remember, you don't need to be louder, just unshakable. And now I want to hear from you. What's one moment where staying silent gave you more power than speaking ever could? Let me know in the comments. I truly value your perspective.